You are arguably one of the most interesting players in college basketball right now. You started out as a Division II player, basically unknown, and then you went with the Drake Bulldogs to the NCAA tournament. Could you walk me through some of the biggest struggles of your career?
On social media, everyone thinks life is always great being a D1 athlete. But no, the struggles were there, and it started freshman year.
You've got this ability to do things that people don't expect you to be able to do. Where does that come from?
My senior year of high school, when the coaches didn't want me, it's that chip on your shoulder, and it's trying to prove people wrong.
Another thing you said that Coach McCollum gets the entire team to buy in. Do you have a story that illustrates the way that he does that?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stories. I could go on and on about this for like 5 hours, but every year he shows this video. It's called First Follower.
Before we get started, I have a small favor to ask. If you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, then please go ahead and do that. It helps more than you know. Also, if you have a question that you would like to ask a future speaker, please leave me a comment. I will go through them and try to read and reply to as many of them as I can.
Welcome to Growth Mindset Mastery, where our mission is to turn your next challenge into the opportunity that changes everything. Bennett, you are arguably one of the most interesting players in college basketball right now. You started out as a Division II player, basically unknown, and then you went with the Drake Bulldogs to the NCAA tournament. You took out Missouri and you gave Texas Tech a huge run for their money. You showed yourself to be a force to be reckoned with and told everybody that you should never sleep on Bennet Stirtz. Could you tell me a little bit about your story and how you got here?
Yeah, first off, thanks for having me. This will be a really fun episode, and we're going to have some fun here. And just thanks for making this happen and driving up so far. But yeah, just a little bit about me and my story. It's been a crazy college career so far, and I wouldn't have thought it would happen this way. But God planned it to be this way, and His way always works. And so I grew up in Liberty, Missouri. I was in 30 miles northeast of Kansas City on the Missouri side. And just grew up with the basketball in my hand because my dad was my high school coach and was always around the game. Had two older brothers, one younger, and we just a lot of memories playing outside with him, playing basketball, playing sports, inside and out. And didn't hit my growth spurt till sophomore year of high school. So I didn't think I was going to play college basketball until then. Knew I had a good shot, and that's really when my dad etched the work ethic in me and started going before school every morning, getting up shots. And that's where it really started, my dreams and visions about playing college basketball. Went to Northwest Missouri State, which is a D2 in Maryville, Missouri. Didn't have any D1 offers and had to go there. I got to go there. It was a great time, 2 years there. Maryville, Missouri, middle of nowhere in Missouri. And then, so before I got there, they won 4 national titles. The coach, been there for 15 years, insane record. And after that, my sophomore year, went on to Drake, followed him, and then we went 31-4, had a great year. And then he went to Iowa, followed him here, and 3 weeks into the summer season here, and here we are now.
Very cool. Could you walk me through some of the biggest struggles of your career? Because looking at somebody like you, the social media, it's easy to think that guy's life is so great and it all comes so easily because you make it look easy. Mm-hmm. But what are some things that you've struggled with that people might not realize?
Yeah, I think people need to talk about it more because on social media, everyone thinks it's super easy. Life is always great being a D1 athlete. But no, the struggles were there, and it started freshman year. In college, I was only an hour and a half away from home, but I was so comfortable in high school that I didn't have to rely on anyone but my family, and I was just so comfortable the life I lived. And went an hour and a half north of my home, and it hit me like a truck. Life did, and I didn't know what to do. Started crying. The first week, I was crying every single night. Didn't know what to do. Missed my family, and I wanted to go home. So yeah, that happened, and I really think that's where my relationship with God really started escalating. Went to Him every day, met some great people there that helped me with my faith and growing my faith. And I won't ever forget that first week because I think that's the first week and the struggle and all the tears and emotions that came over me that first week really made me who I am today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who were the most influential people that helped you with some of those struggles and the barriers you had to break through?
Obviously, my parents, number one, they're always there for me and calling them every night because it was a lot. And I was kind of being a baby looking back at it, but they helped me out so much. But at my time being a Bearcat in Northwest Missouri State, got into a college ministry called Stumo, and they really stepped into my life. Dude named Dallas, and had some other guys that he's a video guy, Caleb Allen. We started Bible study together, and those guys, I was around them a bunch, and they just helped me become a Christian man and just helped me with my faith. And I had a platform, fortunately, and I was blessed to have a platform playing college basketball, and they helped me share the gospel when I'm out there.
That's amazing. What was the biggest sacrifice that you'd say you've made so far? That's one of the things I think about when somebody's committing so much time and energy to something. You've sort of restricted yourself a little bit because you've got commitments to make, and everybody else can go do whatever they want for the summer. But for you, it's training pretty much the whole summer long, correct?
Yep. I would say the biggest thing is just sacrificing the time you have away from your loved ones. You're up here 8 weeks this summer. You have luckily a week off for the 4th, but you're up here 24/7 working out, so you have to sacrifice a lot of time. What I've learned so far from that is you have to balance it really well. You have to care a lot about who you're around, and if you do that, it'll all be all right. You just have to get used to it.
What loved ones would you be seeing right now?
My brothers, my girlfriend, and my parents, grandparents, probably.
What do you wish you could do right now that you just don't have the ability with all the training that you're doing?
Probably just spending quality time with them. Like, me and my brothers love playing disc golf, so doing that and just being around them. Actually have a lawn mowing business back home, so I don't know, kind of doing the boring things with them and just making memories that way. That's kind of what I miss.
Mowing's so underrated.
Yeah.
You know, I did that too. Love mowing lawns. I think you have such a great work ethic between doing summer jobs when you're able,
Yeah.
and you seem to have such a great sense of community. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, Liberty's a great town to live in, and my parents also obviously knew a lot of people, just being, my dad being the head coach for Liberty High School, and they knew a lot of people, so I had a lot of friends growing up. And yeah, just those people there in that town, they care about a lot, and they care about you and who you become. So yeah, community definitely was etched in me as a young age, and it still means a lot to me.
I want to go back to one thing you said about getting a growth spurt. I'm curious if you ever would have tried to do college basketball if you hadn't got it. Like, say you were 5'11",
Yeah.
would you still have given it a shot?
Honestly, probably not. Maybe though. I don't know. I've never thought about that question. I obviously would have worked hard at it, but to be quite honest, if the college coaches don't think you're good enough, you can't play college basketball. So it all depends on what the coaches think.
That's reasonable, but I mean, there's been
Yeah.
people in the NBA under 6 foot.
Oh yeah.
And I was just curious what you would say, because when I've read some stuff about you online, it sounds like you play at a level that's almost beyond the limits of what your physique would predict. The impression they give in the articles is you're a little bit slighter, but because of that, you compensate by being that much sneakier and that more, like they say, don't sleep on Bennet Stirtz, because you've got this ability to do things that people don't expect you to be able to do. Where does that come from, that ability to, I mean, even though you may not be the most, massive guy on the court, to have the confidence to go up against everyone else despite that?
Yeah, and I think it really started my senior year of high school when the coaches didn't want me. It's that chip on your shoulder, and it's trying to prove people wrong. I think that's where it comes from. Just all the doubt you get, it's a weight on your shoulder that people don't think you're good enough.
Yeah.
And every practice, it's not just every game, it's every practice, every day. Even off the court, you have to prove people wrong, and I think just that chip on my shoulder and that motivation helps me a lot, and I think that's where it comes from. It's just people not believing in me.
It's very Michael Jordan of you.
That's funny.
Well, because that was the thing, right?
Yeah.
He got put on the B team.
Yeah.
And I think it was in high school.
Yep.
And
He got cut.
did he get cut?
Yep.
Yeah, same chip on his shoulder.
Yep. I think that's where it comes from for me.
Speaking of coaches that didn't believe in you, one of the things that you said was that Coach McCollum
Yep.
was one of the only coaches that ever believed in you. How does that affect the way you play your game?
I think obviously, like we just said, it's the chip on your shoulder. No, like every other team that we played last year and every team that we play this year at Iowa, the coaches didn't think I was good enough. So same thing every game. I'm gonna try and go out and prove what they're missing out on. But for him to believe in me, and the only guy to believe in me, and just how he is as a coach on and off the court, and how he believes in other players, really means a lot. And I'm sure we'll get into the other stories about him, but how he makes everyone better is something you can't pass up. So I had to come and join Northwest Missouri State.
Sounds like a genius move.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a genius move right away, but turned out to be. Luckily.
Well, that was one thing I thought about when I started nursing was you can pick a place that's going to make you excellent, or you can pick a place that's going to pay you well right off the bat.
Yep.
And not that we're talking about salary here, but if you've got somebody that's going to help you play your best game, I think in some ways that's more valuable than anything else, regardless of whatever the perks of being at that particular school are.
Yeah. I don't think I was smart enough to make that decision. If another coach came to me out of high school, who was D1 and wouldn't have made me better, would have made more money, I probably was stupid enough to go join him. So luckily he was my only option, and I learned it that way.
Huh.
Yeah.
Another thing you said that Coach McCollum gets the entire team to buy in.
Yeah.
Do you have a story that illustrates the way that he does that?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stories. I could go on and on about this for like 5 hours, but he's got, every year he shows this video about, it's called First Follower. And so a little backstory, every time we go in the weight room or every time we go into practice, we have to yell, run around two laps around the weight room and yell. So he shows us this video every year, and it's about a random dude out on a park and he starts dancing. It's super weird. He's the first guy dancing. And then 5 minutes later, another dude joins him. So there's two guys dancing now, and it's not as weird. And that dude who first joins him, yeah, it sounds super weird. It's nothing about basketball, but the second dude is called the First Follower. So he follows the dude dancing. And then after that, people see two guys dancing, they come and join them. After that, it's a bunch of people, and sooner or later, the whole park's dancing. So carried to basketball, there's only one guy cheering on the other teammates on the court, and it's a huge weight on his shoulder. And then finally another guy hops in and he's yelling too. So now it makes it weird not to yell. As first it was weird to yell, now it's weird not to yell. So everyone joins in. That's kind of how the culture is built for Coach Mack and his teams. But first off, he likes to yell because it's good with transitions on the court, and it's kind of tempting and shows the other team that you care a lot. So he's always been a yeller, and I don't know, the First Follower, he always finds weird stories to tell, or weird ways to tell stories, and yeah, that's the one that came to mind for some reason.
I love that story. Yeah, that's a genius way to spin it.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what you said about community, because community is one of those things that's so hard to find, and it seems like one of the biggest struggles nowadays. And maybe it's because of the phones or whatever it is, but there's space between us, and a lot of people have a hard time making a connection where they have people to do life with. So with the community that you have on your team, where else would you go to find that if you weren't in college basketball?
I've actually probably college ministry. Always went to church, so it was pretty easy to find college guys there, especially at Drake and Northwest. There's always opportunities to go find and meet new people, and then they bring you in and start a Bible study, and you just have fellowship that way. But through a team, you're always around the guys 24/7, so we actually had a Bible study the last 3 years of my college career
Wow.
with the team. So that was awesome. Just having fellowship with those guys, not just about basketball, because you're always talking about basketball, but talking about the Lord and
Yeah.
how you can use your platform. So that's always been a fun time in the week for me, just having Bible study with the guys.
I hear what you're saying about church, and I wonder about the bigger churches that I've been to. I've been to a lot of churches, but some of them, you get there on a Sunday morning, and it feels like there's barriers all around, and it's hard to find a place to, like, if you haven't been to that church before, it's hard to know where that connection is. So if you were going to a church, maybe not a huge one, but what would be the first thing that you would do if you didn't know anyone at the church? How would you try to make a connection with somebody?
Yeah, probably try. I'm an introvert myself, so probably trying not to be one. Just go out and get out of your comfort zone and meet new people. If you like the church, go out and try and meet the pastor and see his views, and just try to meet as many new people as you can.
You're an introvert.
Yep, I am.
I never would have guessed.
Yep.
So, okay, so how long did it take you to, I mean, introvert doesn't have to mean shy, but clearly you've got to have a lot of extroverted energy now because you're around players 24/7 and you're in the spotlight all the time. So how do you recuperate from that kind of energy?
Yeah, it's definitely tough with the spotlight now. I didn't have to deal with it my first 2 years being D2, but now you're just trying to balance your time, taking alone time, just going out by yourself and spending time by yourself. Like, I love playing disc golf by myself, and just going out and doing that and just having alone time, I think, is really valuable to me. But also, trying to get out of your comfort zone, because being with other guys that have the same beliefs as you is really important to me. And I think if you care enough about it, you'd be just fine.
Yeah.
With it.
You talk about pressure, it makes me think of that scene from The Rookie. If you ever saw it, he's in the minor leagues, he's trying so hard to get into the major leagues, and he feels a mountain of pressure on him. And one day he just gets so frustrated, he gets up, and he's like, "Hey man, it's going to be a good day today, so we get to play baseball."
Yeah.
And it's true, I think it gets harder. I mean, not that I've experienced it nearly as much. I mean, I did D3 college sports, so it's not like I'm in the spotlight, but even so, I mean, running across country and feeling the pressure, I feel pressure to beat somebody, and it's like, it occurred to me that the higher level you go with this, the harder it is to enjoy the process, but I believe it's possible. What do you think? Like, do you still have the ability to just enjoy the game while you're on the court?
Yeah, it's definitely hard now. I think I do. Some players in college basketball don't, or college, whatever sport you play. People really don't realize that it's literally just a ball you're bouncing and you're trying to get it in a horn shoot. And I think people take it a little too serious, and it's just a game, and the ball's going to stop bouncing sometime, and it's just a game at the end of the day. And I think I remind myself every day of that, and you're literally just going out there to have fun, and the good Lord blesses you. And now with paying players in college, you get paid to play the sport you love. It's kind of hard not to be happy and be joyful.
Wow. How do you stay so humble?
Staying in the Word. I think that's the main thing and the only thing that keeps me humble, because I'm nothing. I'm a nobody. I'm just trying to point people to the Lord when I'm out there on the court, and that's the main reason that I'm out there. And I think that's the only reason why God's given me the ability to play well and play basketball. Just give all glory to Him.
What's your favorite book of the Bible?
Favorite book of the Bible, probably Philippians or James. I really like Philippians because Paul writes it in the prison, and it's one of the most joyful books in the Bible, which is crazy. You're writing a book in a prison, and it's the most joyful book in the Bible.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. So, yeah, probably Philippians. I love that, but every book in the Bible is my favorite. That's what I always say.
Even Song of Songs?
Yeah. Yep, that's right.
I love Song of Songs. I love messing with people.
Yeah.
Your your neck is like the Tower of David.
Yeah.
You told your girlfriend that?
Not at all. I need to.
So I was wondering, I love that you say that it's so much fun to still play the game even at the level that you're playing at, and you've acknowledged some of the difficulties of getting this far. Would it all be worth it to you even if you never got to play professionally?
I think it would. Just all the relationships you build, even if, Lord willing, I get hurt tomorrow and I can't I can't play basketball anymore, I think it'd be worth it. Just all the memories you have, all the road trips, all the things that fans don't see, just like road trips, team meals.
Yeah.
All the memories you get and relationships you build.
I sincerely hope that never happens.
No, yeah. I hope not.
Yeah, tragedy of epic proportions. But no, I hear you. There's not much like the camaraderie you get in athletics.
Yeah.
Curious if you would, I don't know, what would you do if you didn't have athletics? Like, would you try to get back into some kind of club sports or something like that? Or
yeah, definitely. All three of my brothers, they played in high school, didn't play in college, and they played intramural, so definitely.
Gotcha.
We're all competitive, so I'd have to do something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't know what it would be, but something competitive.
Yeah, martial arts is pretty awesome sometimes.
I need to get into that too.
Yeah.
Maybe after basketball career.
Yeah.
You could teach me.
Do I know martial arts?
Do you?
A little bit. I'm not great, but I also think sports is kind of a sacred place, or at least I've always thought that. It's where you have camaraderie and sportsmanship, regardless of you're the opposite team, contrary to a lot of the things in society, like politics, where we tend to demonize the other side and we're not as willing to work with people from different backgrounds, or sometimes we're not even willing to listen to somebody with a difference of opinion. What have you learned about working with people from different areas, different backgrounds, different philosophies on life as a cohesive team that we could all benefit from if we try to use that in the real world?
Yeah, I think I've been blessed to be with a variety of different people. Like this year at Iowa, we've got a dude from Spain, so a lot of ethnic backgrounds. And I think the one thing I've learned is everyone's going to have their own opinion. But if you all stick together and do something for one goal, I think you can accomplish so many things. And I think if you put all the stuff that doesn't matter aside and you work towards something, I think people learning how to do that would definitely benefit the country and world.
Yeah. I was inspired by a friend that told me she believes that if we could get 100 people in a room, we would agree on 99% of the issues, but we're still focused on maybe 3 things that we're violently against each other on. And because of that, we're almost stagnant in some areas where we just can't move forward and figure out how to solve the problem because we can't put those subtle differences, not subtle, those up-in-your-face differences that really only compromise a small percentage of stuff. Can't put that aside.
Yeah, and I think those 3 out of 100 ones are always highlighted in the 97 go unnoticed. In my opinion, I think always the bad stuff gets highlighted and not the good.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's like that.
Glad we have positive people.
Yeah. There's so much positive people in the world.
I think that's really what makes a difference in somebody that's influential a lot of the time is people are drawn to that positivity because it's rare, but when you find it, you need to hold on to it.
Yep, exactly.
I saw you play an amazing game against Missouri, and you have so many amazing highlight reels on YouTube where you're always getting the last bucket at the last second to win the game. Rest in peace, Kansas State. How do you stay so calm under such intense pressure?
Knowing that it's just a game, I think I don't really like being a cocky guy out there, and I'm trying to represent the Lord when I'm out on the court and off the court. But when I'm out there, I don't know, that's kind of my nature. That's how I kind of grew up. And especially being a point guard, I like showing my teammates that I'm calm and knowing that if I'm calm, they can just play smooth and play the right way.
And on a slightly different note, you played an amazing game again against Texas Tech, and in the last few minutes, they started to gain the lead, and I was wondering what was going through your head in the last few minutes that gave you so much confidence or so much courage to have confidence still playing against such steep odds.
Knowing it definitely is going to sting losing, but just trying to take it all in out there, and knowing that you don't get to be in March Madness often, and it's very rare to be out in a tournament like that. Growing up watching March Madness, so it's pretty surreal even stepping on the court. So just taking it all in and just trying to be out there for my teammates and fighting to the last buzzer.
What's one thing that you would do if you weren't afraid to do it? Good.
In life or in basketball?
That's a good question. I could do both.
Okay, both. One thing, can you restate the question?
So what would you do if you weren't scared?
This is a funny answer, but we'll go basketball first. Try and, I think, shoot more shots and try and dunk on more people. Try and do some more stupid plays. Try not to mess up. And I think that comes with life too. Try not to mess up. Try and for everyone to like me. I think Romans 1:16 comes to mind, not being ashamed of the gospel. I think just trying to, I have so many opportunities to share the gospel, and I think one thing I would change is sharing the gospel every opportunity I get.
How would you do that in a way that is makes somebody feel the most comfortable and open?
I think taking time with it and making a relationship with them before I even tell them about the gospel, I think that would go a long way. Showing that I care about the person, and yeah, I think that would be the way.
Yeah, that's one thing that's been interesting to me lately, because it says go and make disciples of all nations. But one thing that I've heard said that the concept of disciple in the first century is we walk around all the time with this rabbi, and we go with him and we eat all the things that he eats, and we do all the things that he does. And so I love the mindset of focusing on the relationship and the authenticity of that.
I think my Dallas, guy named Dallas who led the Bible study in Northwest, he's the guy that told me about that, and we spent a lot of time talking about making disciples, and yeah, I think that's where he told me and led me to start doing that.
On this podcast, we have a closing tradition where the previous guest will ask a question to be answered by the next guest.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's unique. I love it.
What is the strangest hobby that you ever picked up?
Strangest hobby, we talked about it. Is it strange? Is disc golf strange?
I say it's pretty common. Do you have anything weirder than that? I was hoping you'd try to break a world record solving a Rubik's Cube on a unicycle or something like that.
I wish I was that cool. I like to watch disc golf on YouTube. That might be a little more weirder.
Yeah.
I have a lawn mowing business. That might not be a hobby.
You get into some weird situations lawn mowing. Have you ever had a yard where it wasn't maintained? I had some situations like that where I go into the backyard, it'll be $10, small backyard, and I get back there and there are 50-gallon jugs of water back there. I'm like,
oh yeah, for sure. That's a bad situation to get in, but I'm kind of a simple guy. I don't really have many unique hobbies. Sorry for the person that asked that. Sorry for the people watching.
You have a lot of unique things about you. I mean, it's not commonplace to be playing at the level you are. So, and even less common, I think, to embody the level of sportsmanship that you do. You bring so much life and energy to the game. I thank you for the ways that you add excellence to the sport, and you represent God so well on and off the court.
Really appreciate that. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming today.
Sweet. I really had fun. Appreciate you having me on.